This is Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. He's getting a lot of heat today for comments he made during an interview. Now, did Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, suggest that critics of Pfizer are criminals, that they should go to jail? It's a little complicated, and I want to get into this because you're going to see headlines just like this from CNBC. Pfizer CEO says people who spread misinformation on COVID vaccines are criminals, right? This is taken from a bit of a longer answer. And here is the Pfizer CEO talking about the two types of people he thinks are out there. And listen in closely to what he says.
There are two groups of people, right? There are the people that they are vaccinated. There are people that are skeptical about the vaccination. And both of them are afraid. Those that are getting the vaccine, they are afraid of the disease. And they believe that because people are not getting vaccinated, they are increasing the risk to them. They are increasing the exposure. So they are, let's say, mad with them that they don't get the vaccine. Those that they don't get the vaccine, they're afraid of the vaccine. And they are mad with the people that are pressing them to get it.
All right, so all that he said right there was pretty fair. He said he sees two groups of people who are afraid of the virus, who want to get the vaccine, and people who are afraid of the vaccine and people trying to push them into getting it. I don't know. That seems like a fair characterization of the situation to me. But now is when the controversial comment comes in.
And there is those I understand. Yep. They are very good people. They are decent people, that they have a fear. And I understand it. And they don't want to take chances. But there is a very small part of professionals which they circulate on purpose misinformation so that they will mislead those that they have concern. Those people are criminals. They're not bad people. They're criminals because they literally costed millions of lives.
And should be treated as criminals as well.
All right, so there you go. And even his interviewer here saying, yes, they are. They should be treated as criminals. I think he fairly clearly said something a little bit different than this pull quote from Tom Elliott on Twitter. They're not bad people. They're criminals because they have literally cost millions of lives. He's talking about, in that comment, a professional sect of people who are deliberately misinforming people. Not if you're a skeptic, you posting a link to something. He seems to be talking more about state actors and others who are deliberately misinforming people to cause chaos and spread uncertainty out there. But I'm going to show you in a second why his comments were, to me, inappropriate. Now, he continued on with this. After saying that critics of Pfizer are criminal in a way and that they should be dealt with accordingly, then he goes on to speculate about what he thinks is going to happen moving forward with the vaccine. This part's important. Listen in.
I think the booster shot, the third dose, is the one that gives very, very high level of protection, higher than the originally achieved levels of protection, which was 95% with the two doses. The question is how long will it last? We know that we saw a waning of immunity 6 months after the second dose. We need to follow up for 6, 7, 8, 9 months of the booster dose. If I can take a prediction, because we have seen this type of vaccination curves multiple times and the immunogenicity curves, it looks like that it will last for a year. Looks like that there is a chance that this will become an annual revaccination.
However,
I have been surprised many times in my life with things that in science you expect and they don't come exactly like that.
So he said it looks like it will be an annual revaccination. Okay. Now, here's where things get a little prickly. First of all, this came from the Atlantic Council. It was a conversation today with Pfizer Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Albert Bourla. That's why this interview occurred. Now let's go into the backstory. Pfizer, from the vaccine, this is the New York Times, is making buku bucks. They're doing quite well. The vaccine brought in $3.5 billion in revenue in the first 3 months of this year. This is according to the New York Times again. The vaccine was far and away Pfizer's biggest source of revenue. The company did not disclose the profits it derived from the vaccine, but it reiterated its previous prediction that its profit margins on the vaccine will be around 20%. That is about $900 million in the first quarter, or, obviously, how quarters work. You're talking about $3.2 billion over the course of a year. This is a significant amount, not just of money, but of money for Pfizer. And there are some very sensitive issues here. When you look at Pfizer's earnings, you don't have to be a business genius to realize that the pandemic has been good to Pfizer financially. And one could argue that they deserve it for developing drugs that have arguably saved millions of lives. But look, I mean, come on. Look at the chart. We know what happened right around there. This is when stuff was released, and they are exploding and rolling Scrooge McDuck style in profits. And I think the New York Times article actually says they make about $19 or so per vaccine that goes out to Americans. So, and then you look at the, this is actually public data. This is Bourla here, Albert Bourla, and this is his payment in the year 2020. He made $21 million in 2020. Now, with his company's doing far and away better than it was in 2020 and 2021, pro tip, it will be. Again, you don't have to be an absolute genius to see what 2020 looked like and what 2021 is already looking like for Pfizer. It's a record quarter for them. It's going to be very, very good moving forward. So Albert Bourla has the potential to make a whole lot more money himself. And this is why, to me, the statement about people criticizing Pfizer is problematic. If somebody whose company is going to greatly profit off of the vaccine and who's personally going to greatly profit off of the vaccine is now saying that people who criticize them, even on a professional level, are criminals, instead of avoiding that question altogether, it's not a good look. And then when he follows that up is, hey, don't criticize my company. It's killing people, you criticizing Pfizer, with his statement that said, hey, we're going to get one of these jabs every year. You start to see where the problem lies. This is somebody who should stay above the fray as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know that the headline is dead on accurate, but you tell me what you think in the comments below. That's the CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, starting some controversy today, saying they're criminals, people who are criticizing Pfizer online and elsewhere, because they have literally cost millions of lives. Hit that share button to spread the word and share this video with your friends. If you're new around here, take a moment, please. Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit that follow button over on YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit subscribe. Thanks as always to my supporters on both of them. You'll see below this post probably a way that you can support, and I truly appreciate when you do that. Helps buy all kinds of equipment and stuff, and it's very, very, very nice of you. Thanks for watching. As always, let's interact in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. Was what he said right, or is what he said being misconstrued in the media? The CEO of Pfizer, either way, is taking some heat today. So tell me what you think, and we'll talk to you again real soon.